Hi, and welcome to another position of the week. My video will come up here. Somehow my background disappeared. Let's put it back on. Hopefully nobody will notice. Okay, so the position of the week this week is from a tournament played in India called KIIT Open. Player from playing white here is a young talent, Jacob Aagaard, and player with black is Jacob Aagaard from Kyrgyzstan. I apologize for anyone for pronouncing the name the way I did. Okay, so it's black to play in this position, as you can see from the little dot here. I'm not going to flip the board. And black's to hold this position with the only move. You can sort of give your guess. This is not the position of the week. This is just the starting point. But I sort of want to show how you can try to make things more difficult for your opponent, even after you mess things up entirely. So in this position, black should play rook a1. This would, like if c7, we have rook c1, if king b2, we have bishop b5 check, and if b5, we can give some checks. And it's not possible for white to zigzag up to help the pawns because we have this check, and here black is okay. You should notice that c7 we're still taking, and then still rook c1 attacking this pawn, and white can play bishop e2 here. And then after check and so on, we have a very double-edged game here. Both players have a lot of things to be happy about, and the chances are simply equal. But in the game, let's go back here. Black took on g2, probably hoping to win the game. He was overrating his opponent with about 331 points, roughly. White decided to take the piece. And we can now see that this pawn is going to make something of himself one day. So if rook g1, then here and check, and white can, for example, go here with this idea, and the pawn is queening. Basically, black is in trouble here, and it's all wrong. So what's interesting here is how black managed to save the game. So first off, he played rook d2, white played natural move b6, rook d6, b7, check, king c4, and g4. And already around here, I think black had sort of seen the key point down the road where he's going to create some mess. The position is lost, but he can still create some chances. White plays all the natural moves. Bishop e8, play bishop b5. And, well, this is the moment white plays bishop b5, and it's not a move to criticize. The position is still winning. But the thing is, it is not easily winning. However, if he had looked for a second option, which I think you should do always on every move, you would have seen check. And now king must go to g6. No choice. If you go to e5, then b8 queen will be check, which you can't have. And if you go to g5, there's check on g7 later, so must go here. And check, and here, and now bishop e5. And that's it. There's rook g8 and b8 queen check, or b8 and rook g8. It's just over. Instead, white played bishop b5, which is certainly an inaccuracy. Check, takes. Of course, here we could take a queen, but it doesn't do anything. We have to take the rook out afterwards anyway. And here, and now here, I'm sure that white was looking forward to giving this check. Now, if the black king goes to the g file, the queen is lost. Goes to e5, there's a check on h8, and there's a pretty good check on d4. But what black had anticipated was white's lack of coordination and playing king g7. And this is our position of the week, white to play and win. And this is not easy. And in the game, he didn't manage to achieve it. And you may find things that look tempting and promising and so on, but can you actually find the win here? It's very, very tricky. I suggest you stop the video, you find a board, you find some pieces. You don't need a whole set here. But you will need a black queen because that's happening. Okay, so in the game, white played queen e8. And after taking a queen, there's nothing here. He tried to play bishop d7, but once this pawn is gone, that's it. He's not stepping into any bishop e6 check. So here they agree to draw. You can even imagine that white could organize a loss by exchanging queens here somehow. So this was the last move, and they agree to draw. So there are 3 winning moves in this position, and they're all with exactly the same idea. 2 of them are a bit weird because they lose 2 tempos by their oddity, and the third one is not weird. So the way white wins this position is he needs to keep the pawn on e3. He needs it for winning an endgame later. He also needs to have all the pieces on good positions, and has to happen as fast as possible. So some checks are very useful. The first move is king d6. We bring in the king. Now we're threatening lots of checks and stuff, and black has to take a queen. And here we give a check. Should say here, if you're sort of trying to defend the e-pawn and take an e6, then here maybe it's winning, maybe not. But for sure, you cannot take an f5. You have to go far away with the king, and it becomes a big mess. My guess is it's not winning. But check here and check here. Now, in this case here, if we exchange queens, white will be in time to take everything and just win. So black cannot exchange queens at this point either. So king g7, check, king h8, avoiding the light squares, not letting the bishop come in and do damage. Now, if take an e6, we take an e3. It's just perpetual. White has nothing else. And so, as I was saying before, the point is to bring in all the pieces. So at the moment, the bishop's not having a function. So we need to have a function. This is, if we have the 3 questions, we have the weaknesses are, let's say, these ones, plenty of weaknesses. The worst place piece, well, it's this one. Black doesn't have enough pieces to have a worst place piece. And black's intention is definitely to eliminate this pawn and secure draw. So we have to somehow get our bishop in to attack the weaknesses, or help attacking the weaknesses, while preventing bishop e3. And the winning move is bishop e8. Now, if, let's say, queen g5, we have time to take an e6. White has this very important bishop h5 move afterwards, where the bishop is controlling both the h-pawn and the e-pawn in one diagonal. This is very important. If some attempt like queen g3 check, king e6, f4, then we have queen f6 and e f4, or also maybe queen takes f4 works. And importantly, if black takes on e3, then the bishop's going to come in and give a check, and then the queen can give the last checks, and it's mate. So black can sort of only wait, but it's not working at all here. So let's say check here, and we take here. I think the simplest and easily winning position. Okay, so this was it, another position of the week. If you enjoyed this, and if you want to get better at chess and spend time with nice people, you could do worse than checking out our academy, killerchesstraining.com. We have lessons every day, about 500 hours of lessons a year. We have lots of things happening, and we would love for you to be a part of it. So check us out and see if we're right for you. Take care and see you next week.